Hey guys, in today's video I want to talk about building your portfolio. And again, this is something that we will hear the rich and wealthy doing, that they have a portfolio of stocks and bonds and real estate, and we think that is quite complicated, but in reality it doesn't have to be. I play volleyball, and something that my coach always says is remember the K.I.S.S principle. So we're going to use the K.I.S.S principle here, and that is keep it simple, stupid. All right, you can decide if there's a comma there or not. But today we're just going to keep it basic on how we're going to build a portfolio. Before we spoke about what younger people should do, what older people should do, and now we're going to talk about how we make up that portfolio for either individual. So building a portfolio, you have four basic headings. You have cash, your fixed income, your equity, and your alternative investments. So we all know what cash is. And for cash here, we can call that your savings. So a portion of the money that you have is saved. The rest of it is invested. It's invested in fixed income. We discussed fixed income is made up of bonds. This is debt instruments, you would call them, that are from 1 year up to 20 years or more. So you purchase a bond and you'll get your funds in 2 years with interest, in 5 years with interest, and so on. And then there's equity that we spoke about as well. That's stocks, shares in different companies, and then alternative investments. Basically, alternatives are just things that don't fit in any other box. Some people would have a separate box for real estate. Some people put real estate into alternative investments. It's up to you. But alternative investments, for what we're doing in this video today, it's not money, it's not cash, it's not fixed income, it's not equity. It's anything else. It's something that is, for some people, they'd say it's sexier investment to be alternative investments. You heard the term hedge funds. We won't go much into that, but hedge funds are alternative investments. Barbadians and Jamaicans know about peer-to-peer lending. Some people may classify that as fixed income, but some people, because it's not your normal typical bond, would say that's an alternative investment. So an alternative investment is normally something a little extra that we have to play with, and it's not in our main focal point of our portfolio. If you think the peer-to-peer lending is in the main focal point and it's in fixed income, that's fine. Your alternative investment could be you investing in your friend's business. It's not a publicly traded stock. It's not a mutual fund. You want to help your friend out and you put it there. But now we have to talk about how you divide up how much you save, how much you invest in each of these blocks. Again, age is important, but also personality. So if you're risk averse, you can be risk averse just because of your personality. I don't like to take many risks. I want my funds to be preserved. Predominantly, I want them to stay there. I'm 25. That's it. If that's you, that's fine. However, based on your age, you can also be risk averse. So you're 60 or over, and you should be risk averse, as opposed to you want to be. So an investment manager may have you fill out a questionnaire, and based on how you answer those questions, it would determine that you're risk averse either by choice, or they will tailor your portfolio to be risk averse because it's the wisest thing to do for you based on the amount of money that you have. So you can be risk averse because you don't have a lot of disposable income, you only have a little bit of disposable income, or you could be risk averse because you're saving your funds for retirement. But you can be risk averse just because it's who you are, and that's fine. Well, younger people with more disposable income can afford to be less risk averse and have higher weightings in riskier assets. So let's just break it down. If you are 25 and you have, a lot of this, you have disposable income to spare, then you may be looking at your portfolio looking something like 70% in equities, 10% in alternative investments, and then 5% in cash, and 15% in fixed income. So you're heavy on the equities and fixed income, and the equities and alternative investments, because you're looking for big returns, you're looking to grow your portfolio, you're looking for those investments to really make you some money, and you can handle the short-term fluctuations of a market. Typically over 10-year cycle, you'll see your investments go up, but there will be dips as they go up all the way. So they'll go up and they'll dip and they'll go up. If you can ride out those dips, you're young and you can afford that in 2 years time, you put $100 in this investment, it's at 80, but you can afford that to keep it in there at 80. And when you get to 5 years time, it's back up to 102, 110 at 10 years and so on. So you've made money for your individual investment, your original investment, then fine. Then you take that chance. You can take the chance to sell at 80 and purchase something else, then you take that chance. However, if you're at retirement age, you're 63 and you want to retire in 2 years, then you might not want to purchase something that in 2 years might be down from 100 to 80. And then you may have to wait another 10 years to get your $100 back. You want something that your fluctuations more look like 100 to 99, 99 to 100, 101, 102. You want less fluctuations in the price movement. So now if you're at that age, let's say you're at the 63, then we may be looking at 30% in cash, 50 to 60% in fixed income, and just 10% in equities, and not even looking at alternative investments. We're not getting cute, we're not trying to get clever, we're making sure that we have our funds there. We're still heavy in the fixed income because we want those bonds to pay income, we want interest to come from those. We still want some income to live. We're considering as cost of living rises, we want the interest that we're earning to cover cost of living increases. So we still want income, we still want fixed income, but we don't want to get too creative and go too far with investing in that new business that may take 10 years to turn around, when that's really your livelihood and you don't have other income coming in. Your portfolio now is all you have. So we don't want to get too cute with it. We don't want to play too much with it. A balanced portfolio would more look like 55% in equity, 35% in fixed income, and the balance in cash. Maybe 10% in cash, maybe 5% in an alternative. So that's balance, where you may be younger, have a good income stream coming in. You don't want to take too many risks, but you still want your equities to be prominent, that they can grow. And as I would have noted, even for those at retirement age, you can still do a little bit of the equity to take that chance to get a return, but it's mitigating against the risk of going down. All right, so building your portfolio, how do you go about doing this? I spoke in the last video there about different companies in Barbados and throughout the region who offer you the ability to purchase mutual funds, purchase stocks, purchase bonds. You don't have to get too fancy. If you know, okay, I make this amount, this is what's left, I paid my bills, this is what I want to save. Normally we say we're going to save the rest. Well, instead of saving the rest, let's break the rest down into saving it and investing it. So you've got that cash portion to save, and that cash could really be money market. So it can be cash in a short-term deposit, 6 months, so you still get a little interest there. And then you go to these mutual fund companies that you have here, and you can purchase a fixed income mutual fund, shares in a fixed income mutual fund. You can purchase shares in an equity mutual fund. Based on the percentages we spoke about before, you would determine what percentage of your money you put in the equity mutual fund or the fixed income mutual fund. If you want to use peer-to-peer lending, what percentage you put in peer-to-peer lending. And then together, that's your portfolio. You have it there. It makes money for you in different ways. You invest it with different mutual fund companies, different peer-to-peer lenders. So you're diversifying your risk based on who you put your money with and also what your money is invested in. All right, but what's most important is risk averse, more fixed income, more money market and cash, less equity, risk. Those seeking risk reward and capital appreciation, more equities, alternative investments. You normally see a balanced portfolio, you see ranges. Cash 0 to 20%, fixed income 30 to 60%, equities 35 to 65%, alternatives 0 to 15. So you're always keeping those alternatives kind of small, keeping that cash kind of small, and balancing the equities and the bonds, the shares and the bonds in the middle. I hope that this was informative. And if you have any questions, any comments, anything that you want further clarity on, please mention it below in the comments. Thanks, guys.